These are the critics stirring controversy around Alden Richards and Maine Mendoza over their alleged link to bossing. Just when fans thought the speculation had calmed down, a new wave of controversy has surfaced. This time involving renewed claims linking Alden Richards and Maine Mendoza to bossing, a nickname commonly associated with vixado. Online discussions have once again intensified, with certain critics and commentators accusing unnamed insiders and rival fan groups of stirring the pot. The word umaahas, implying people who are slyly fueling intrigue, has become a trending description among supporters defending Alden and Maine from what they believe are unnecessary attacks. But what exactly is happening? The renewed chatter reportedly began after subtle online posts and resurfaced clips reignited speculation about past dynamics on Eat Balaga, where Alden and Maine's love team famously exploded into a nationwide phenomenon. Some online personalities allegedly began connecting old narratives to present-day interactions, creating theories that many fans believe are misleading. Supporters argue that dragging bossing into the discussion once again is unfair and outdated. They point out that Vic Sotto, as a veteran host and pillar of the show, has always played a professional role in guiding talents. To reinterpret that mentorship as something controversial, they say, is an attempt to revive old drama for attention. Others believe the situation reflects a larger issue in fan culture: the constant need to keep a narrative alive even when the artists themselves have moved forward. Alden has continued to build a solid acting career, branching into serious roles and business ventures. Maine has matured into a respected personality with carefully chosen projects and a more private lifestyle. So why revisit the past? According to observers, controversy generates engagement. Social media thrives on conflict, and revisiting iconic love teams guarantees clicks, shares, and trending hashtags. By tying Alden and Maine's names to a high-profile figure like Vic Sotto again, critics ensure instant visibility. However, loyal supporters are pushing back. Many argue that if there are misunderstandings, they should be clarified directly by the parties involved, not interpreted by outsiders seeking attention. They emphasize that respect should be extended to all individuals involved, especially when accusations are speculative rather than factual. There is also a call for perspective. The Aldub era was a unique moment in Philippine entertainment history. Emotions ran high. Expectations were enormous. Multiple personalities were part of that ecosystem: hosts, producers, networks, and fans alike. To isolate specific individuals years later and reframe narratives without verified information can easily distort reality. At the same time, some neutral observers suggest that if Alden and Maine ever choose to address lingering questions, doing so calmly and clearly could finally silence repeated attempts to reignite old issues. Transparency, they say, is often the strongest response to rumor. Yet others counter that silence can also be strength. Not every allegation deserves a reaction. Sometimes refusing to engage with speculation prevents it from growing further. Ultimately, the renewed controversy highlights one undeniable truth: the names Alden Richards and Maine Mendoza still carry immense weight. Even years after their peak as a tandem, they remain powerful enough to trend with a single mention. As for umaahas, whether critics, opportunists, or overzealous commentators, their voices may be loud, but they are not necessarily authoritative. Without concrete statements or verified sources, online claims remain what they are: speculation. For now, the story continues to unfold in the digital sphere. Fans defend. Critics debate. Observers analyze. And through it all, Alden Richards and Maine Mendoza remain at the center. Two individuals whose shared history continues to spark conversation, proving that some chapters in entertainment never truly close, no matter how much time has passed. As the noise grows louder online, many fans are beginning to ask a deeper question: who truly benefits from reopening old wounds? For supporters of Alden Richards and Maine Mendoza, the repeated attempts to link them once again to bossing Vic Sotto feel less like concern and more like calculated provocation. Every few months, a recycled clip resurfaces. A vague post appears. A so-called insider drops a cryptic statement. And suddenly, speculation spreads like wildfire. What makes this situation more frustrating for loyal fans is the lack of concrete evidence behind many of these claims. Most of the narratives circulating online are interpretations, not verified facts. A look exchanged on stage years ago. A supportive comment in an interview. A professional interaction taken out of context. In the age of viral content, context often becomes the first casualty. Some analysts note that iconic tandems like Alden and Maine naturally attract revisited discussions because their impact was so massive. During their peak on Eat Balaga, they weren't just actors, they were symbols of hope, romance, and serendipity. When something reaches that level of influence, people tend to dissect it endlessly. But dragging other respected figures into the narrative without solid proof can have consequences. It risks overshadowing careers that have evolved far beyond a single era. It can also create unnecessary tension between fan groups who interpret situations differently. Interestingly, neither Alden nor Maine has directly addressed the latest round of accusations. And that silence has sparked two opposing interpretations. One side believes that silence suggests they prefer to rise above negativity. They argue that responding to every rumor would only give it more oxygen. After years in the industry, both stars understand how quickly attention cycles move. What trends today may fade tomorrow. The other side believes that clarity, even a brief statement, could finally shut down recurring allegations. They suggest that a united front, calmly dismissing false claims, would reinforce professionalism and mutual respect among everyone involved. Yet perhaps what's most telling is how both Alden and Maine continue focusing on their individual paths. Alden remains committed to expanding his craft, choosing roles that challenge him and investing in projects behind the scenes. Maine, known for her candid yet composed personality, maintains a balance between public engagement and private boundaries. That growth speaks volumes. At the end of the day, controversies often reveal more about the environment than about the people at the center of them. Social media thrives on speculation. Algorithms reward outrage. And in that digital storm, even the smallest spark can ignite a blaze. But amid the accusations and debates, one truth stands steady. The legacy of Alden Richards and Maine Mendoza was built on genuine connection, not controversy. And that legacy cannot be undone by recycled rumors. As for those accused of umaahas, their voices may continue to circulate. But without evidence, their claims remain shadows, loud, but not solid. Whether this chapter fades quietly or prompts a clarifying response, one thing is certain. The story of Alden, Maine, and their unforgettable era remains powerful enough to dominate conversations years later. And perhaps that enduring impact, not the noise, is what truly matters.